This video and its contents are for adult collectors.
Legacy Evolution Skyquake. I've been on the fence about this because the reviews about him have been wishy-washy at best. Some people say he's good, other people say he's really bad, but when I saw him on sale, I was like, you know what? I want a big Decepticon jet. I'm gonna try him out for myself. And I'll be honest, the jet mode is nice. He's packaged in it, which is a bit of a surprise. I'm not used to seeing figures like that. And I quite like the G1 Skyquake jet in these colors. I went with Skyquake instead of Dreadwing because I like the colors more, as I mentioned. The nice red and green with pops of silver really work for me. And something about it, man. It's really slick. I really like the landing gear on here too. It's nice. It's something I'm not used to anymore on Transformers in general, since Needlenose didn't have any and Windblades was stationary. Now, I will say that the fins on here do tend to pop off. The tail fins and front fins near the cockpit are constantly falling off, and I don't really care for that. I wish it was a little bit better. But overall, I do enjoy this. Also, you can stack Needlenose on top of this. Pretty interesting for a Predator jet thing, especially since it seems like we're probably not going to get a G1 Skyquake off this. For size comparison, Skyquake here is no slouch. Here he is with Legacy Crankcase, Legacy Goldbug, Reveal the Shield Jazz, and of course, Machine Wars Hoist. Alright, let's get this guy transformed. So he actually has a fairly complex transformation. Like, there's a lot of little steps you have to do to make sure everything ends up right. First thing we're going to do is fold up the landing gear, and then we are going to start untabbing things. So we're going to start with the wings right here. Just want to untab those, and that's going to allow us to unfurl the legs. And then you want to bring them down like this and rotate them forward. So same thing. So bring them out, bring them, rotate them down like so, and rotate them forward. From here, we want to take these pieces here, untab them, swing them around and up. There's a tab there and a notch there. Tab those in, and that's going to make some nice gap fillers on this guy. That's actually part of it that I really do like. Fold out the toes, and there is the lower body done. And so you can see the lower torso is very simple. We still have the entire jet to cover. So from here, I like detaching the nose cone a little bit and undoing these what will be the shoulder pads. So undo those, and then you want to split the top of the jet open, and you just wiggle that until it comes undone. From there, we can see the robot mode chest, and there's a couple things that I like doing before getting like everything into place. So I like bringing the arms up. So you want to kind of unattach this, bring the arms up, split them, and bring them out. So I like doing that, and I like getting this nose cone section here figured out because this is where it gets difficult. The nose cone is notorious for having like this soft click, this secret soft click in there. So what you want to do is bring it up off of the head, kind of position it like this. Sorry if you guys can't see, let me kind of position it like this, take the nose cone and just bring it down and push until it soft clicks into place. And that's really all you can do. Now, it takes some finagling to get it, and it is kind of a pain, but you'll know it when you get it because it'll soft lock into place. And that's going to make everything else way easier. So I'm actually going to pause while I actually... Oh, hello. Did it do it? Okay, I think we got it. No, we did not. Okay, so I'm going to pause while I get that to do the thing because it took me quite some time to get it last time. So we're just going to pause for a moment. Okay, so I got it in place there. From here, you want to take the legs, rotate them 90 degrees so that way we can slide the backpack around on hinges. I like to kind of fold the wings forward a little bit too. From here, you want to rotate these parts 180. Kind of fold the fins forward and then just rotate these back 180. And then you can bring the wings back. So it gets a little cluttered here. Bring in this back piece section, and there's actually some grooves right there. right there that these will sit in. So make sure those are sitting in those grooves for the backpack. And then there's a little clip right here on the top of the hip, and that's gonna slot into the nose cone right there. So just bring that up on its slider and click it into place. And there we go. There is that. And from there, I've seen some people flip the nose cone out and have it kind of hang out. I've seen people leave it. I like flipping it out. So we're going to do that. So that way it slips right there and sits there. And then you can adjust the backpack as needed. From here, so what that does, by the way, what this does is it prevents the arms from tucking all the way back, and also does a couple other things. From there, bring the arms down and extend the elbows. Flip out the hands. Now remember, he does have these little gap fillers right here that also lock the hands in place. I actually almost missed that until channel member Rain pointed it out to me. So we're going to do that, and then just bring the shoulder pads down and over the shoulders. And from there, adjust as needed, and we have our leader Skyquake after a fairly fiddly transformation in his robot mode. Oh. Real quick, this is Deathstar R Us as a keychain. This is it on a lanyard. If you like this, if you want one, I'll have a link down in the description where you can go get one. My friend made them. They're her first charm keychain thing, her first non-sticker item, and it's really, really cool. Go get yourself one. They're super, super neat. Let's talk his robot mode. It looks very, very good. It's nice to finally get another leader who is, you know, leader sized, as it's been one of my biggest complaints about the leader class for the last few years. His head sculpt looks really good, if not a little large, but it works for him. He's supposed to be this big, scary Decepticon, so I like that. His details are very nice, still maintaining most of his color, but now with a lot more gunmetal coming through to complement the silver. I do like that the back of the backpack is also painted silver. That looks really nice, and it makes him feel a little more premium than some other leaders. Just that little extra touch. He is just a solid, chunky bot, being able to get into any of the poses you want him to, and I can tell that he has light piping, but I haven't been able to get it to engage, so, you know, that's a little unfortunate as well. I don't want to seem like I'm glazing this guy either, because he's alright at best days. He's decent most days, and if you get him on sale, I think he's good. If you get him on Voyager price, that's where I'm saying, like, he's good. Leader price, I don't know if this is it, especially because his only accessories are his Gatling gun and his sword, which the sword leaves a lot to be desired from, and the Gatling gun is kind of middling at best. So take his accessories how you will. I think they're just okay. For comparison, here is Skyquake with Leader Toxitron, Leader Galvatron. Here he is with Leader Sandstorm, who looks pretty piddly in comparison. Here he is with DK3 Breaker, Channel Mascot Laserfire, Channel Mascot Shattershock, and of course, Machine Wars Hoist. The robot is tall, I'll give it that. Like, Skyquake, in terms of being a leader, feels like a leader, especially whenever we've been plagued with triple changers and other short guys. Something I didn't mention in the other segment is his accessories, which, you know, I kind of touched on them. It's a sword and a rifle. They're okay. I wish he had some more. Let's talk about articulation though. His head is on a ball joint, so it can look left and right and go all the way down. It can actually look up quite a bit, which is really nice for a flyer, so he can kind of like intimidatingly fly at you. The shoulder pads can get in and out of the way all they want. They're even on like kind of a cut ball joint, so they can lean forward a little bit, which is nice. His arms are on butterflies back and forth. I do wish they locked in certain spots. Like, this really should have been a ratchet, I think. Speaking of ratchets, there's some sort of buttery ones. I don't know how long they'll last right there. Bicep swivel, double jointed elbows, although you're not getting a ton out of it. He does have a wrist swivel, which is nice. He has a waist swivel, although it feels like it's lower than it should be. And like, I feel like it should be right here, and it's right there. So his torso ends up looking really long. His legs are on soft ratchets. They go forward that far, back that far, and they go out that far. He has a thigh swivel. He has double jointed knees that he can basically take full advantage of. Like, these are actually some really decent legs. You can give him crouching and everything. Although I will say they do kind of lock when they go back there, so you kind of got to unlock them just by pushing on them. And then his feet. So his feet are interesting because he has an ankle tilt, and I feel it, but it's not quite going as far as I'd like it to, so it's pretty piddly. And then his heels. His toes are articulated, and so are his heels, so I don't know if they're supposed to fold back, and maybe that's why mine doesn't stand up very well. But when I fold this one back, it keeps bumping into this. So one heel doesn't really bump into that, and I don't know if it's because it's tilted a little bit or what. I mean, that does help a little bit, but yeah, and he does have a little heel spur on the back of it, but it, you know, he doesn't stand super great, you know. That's like my biggest problem with him. Also, this joint over here, really tight. That is a ratchet that I feel is going to explode. And half the time that I want to actually use the bicep swivel, the butterfly ends up engaging. So I don't know. I do like him. I like the way he looks, which is good. And I like the way he feels, which is also good. But yeah, like I said, that, and also that backpack where you have to get the notch just right, is also a little rough. Overall though, I think he's fine. I think he's okay. Final thoughts on Skyquake. My friend actually asked me what I think about him, and I said he's about a 5 out of 10 leader, but about a 7 out of 10 on sale leader. I think he's okay, and I like that he's big. He adds a nice chunk and a nice tall Decepticon to go at the back of the ranks. It's been a hot second since we had like a buff Goonie. We need some muscle in the Decepticons. For the Autobots, they get Ironhide, and I'm sure that the Seekers do just fine, but it's nice to have a big, powerful jet former, like because he's a bomber. That's awesome to kind of back up their ranks. You know, when Starscream and Thundercracker aren't enough, Megatron sends out Skyquake, and that's what I like about this guy. That's what he feels like, and I do like him for that. I like that he's going to stand at the back of my Decepticon squad, or even with my Mayhem Goonies, and fill in their ranks, but I definitely can't recommend this guy at full leader price. He's not great as a full leader, but if you can find him for 35 or less, I think he's perfectly acceptable. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. YouTube thinks you'll like this video right here. Don't forget to check out my support links in the description, including the Discord and Patreon, and I'll see you in the next one. This has been Bots Obsession.